There's one red flag that silently kills fundraising rounds, and too many founders overlook it. In this conversation with Aparajita Chauhan of Volition Capital, we dive into what investors actually pay attention to before cutting a check, especially in Series A and B. Hint, it's not your product or pitch deck. If you're gearing up to raise, this is one insight you cannot afford to miss. Welcome to Provider's Edge, the podcast that helps healthcare entrepreneurs and innovators break down barriers and control their business, life, and future with valuable action steps. With me, your host, Sabrina Runbeck, a recovered clinician and a business deal catalyst. Let's rewrite the rules and create a positive social impact while increasing your profitability.
Health tech founder, if you're scaling, pitching, and still waiting to be seen, this is for you. The Health Tech Impact Awards are now open, and yes, this is a competition. It's free to apply, but not everyone gets in. This is your chance to earn national recognition, refine your pitch with expert coaching, and get in front of top investors, health system leaders, and funders, the people who can open doors that change everything. You didn't build your company to play small. So stop hoping to be discovered. Apply to be undeniable. Applications close March 1st. Go now to healthtecimpactawards.com. That's healthtecimpactawards.com. It's your moment. Make it matter.
We're here with investor Aparajita from Volitions here, who's supporting the summit, clearly coming here, having a great morning, visiting some of the great gifted founders, finding out new solutions. And then we wanted to sit down with her to talk about how do we support these founders from a fundraising perspective? What do you usually look for? Is there a specific due diligence or when people are approaching you that they really already should have in place?
I think it's really important to think about the market and just make sure that the market that we're operating in or the market that we're looking at is a market that's growing and that there's a lot of strong tailwinds behind it. We're definitely seeing that with women's health. We've historically focused on digital health and consumer health. So it's really interesting to take a women's specific focus to that. So it's been great to talk to a lot of different founders, a lot of amazing ideas. I think fertility is super interesting right now. A lot of people are having conversations about that. The conversations are starting to get younger. We're starting to think about things like egg freezing, aging health for women as well. So that's been super interesting. And I think, market strength and then just business strength, thinking about a path to profitability, just starting to generate revenue, kind of the go-to-market strategy. And it's awesome to start building a relationship with founders when they're at seed stage and you can see them develop their company and their products over the course of a couple years, couple months when we come in, which is typically Series A or Series B.
Correct. This is always, it's a human relationship business. At the end of the day, we don't do business with people somehow just co-pitching us every day and it doesn't sound authentic. Doesn't matter if you do a online or in person. It's what is the true mission, vision behind it. And then you have a sound infrastructure that we can see possibility in this path. And then also have a team that we see value in really actually can deliver what you're promising. And not to be so afraid to reach out early and having a conversation, even though it's not the right stage, but we will stay in each other's ecosystem and move forward from there.
Totally. I love getting investor updates and checking in 6 months and realizing that founders hit or exceeded their expectations from what they were talking about 6 months ago. It's super cool.
Yes, and we like to celebrate those milestones. And we run a annual competition for these founders. And if they win one of our 6 awards, we give them a lot of free media press because we honor the progress they did, and then they should be known for it. And definitely we wanted to see that no matter which area they have been successful.
Absolutely.
Now, what are some challenges that you are seeing with getting funding nowadays?
I think it's really hard in general to break into the industry. And oftentimes it can be an intimidating space, especially for women when historically female founders have been fairly underfunded in the industry. That's why I think conferences like this are so helpful because you can come and you can speak to people who've raised money before. Maybe they've raised a little more than you have. Maybe they're at the same stage as you and you can kind of bounce ideas off of each other. So I think that just that relationship building, the community building and the supporting of each other and the founder community, and also getting support from investors for founders and just being really candid and I try to be very candid with the founders that I'm talking to. If we're slightly later stage, then giving them the best amount of information that I can in terms of guidance. I'm like, okay, when you do get to our stage, what am I going to look for? What are the questions I'm going to ask you? I think just like transparency and support is really important. And if we keep building that, then I'm sure many more female founders will get funded.
Exactly. So that actually tap into that. So when people are in the right stage, going to start thinking about Series ABC, what are the questions you will ask at each stage?
We typically look for both the financial profile. So is the company coming out pretty strong? Are they growing year over year? Does this customer seem like sticky? Is it a subscription model? Is it more of a one-time purchase model? And then based on the business model, we ask a few different questions to kind of follow on that. But it's really, how's your product? How's the market? How's the customer? Are they coming back? Does the product make sense? Is it growing? And I think if we are checking all of those boxes, it's typically a pretty nice profile for us.
That also means make sure you do track your KPIs. And I would be surprised a lot of time I talk to the company, I'm like, so tell me your detailed marketing strategy, right? What is that specific persona looks like? How you're reaching out to them? What are all the channels? How is the follow-up sequence? Don't just tell me we love to go to events and talk to the, B2B, the executives. How are you following up?
Mm-hmm.
What is that nurturing looks like? And when people couldn't really pinpoint and it's talking high level, and then I'm like, oh, so you're still doing it like throwing things out on the wall, see what sticks, instead of actually building up an infrastructure that you can actually track these KPIs.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's daring enough to say, okay, be okay just to focus on something and stick to it, and actually give us some successful numbers before you start moving on to the next channel.
Yeah. Marketing is so interesting these days, especially with CAC rising on socials. I think figuring out which marketing dollars are the most effective is probably one of the best avenues to think about. You want your CAC to be effective and make sure you're not overspending where it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. And then perhaps when people have break it down is to, oh, this is how much I'm raising, this is I'm spending money on ABC. Why, right? Like, how come that's the reason you're spending that money on? What's that gap? And how is that going to give you a specific ROI? Can also help with the decision, would you say?
Yeah, I think we also typically have a marketing team that comes in, kind of analyzes and makes sure that the marketing dollars are going to the right place. So I think if the financial profile is strong, clearly they're doing something right, and they're probably on the right track there.
Right. And then one of the other things we see that's very important is the human capital side of things. It's looking at who's the founder, who's the CEO, who's actually doing the bigger decisions, and their executive team, not just the acolytes, oh, they've been with this company, but how are you actually working together?
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the downfall has been, oh, we're so excited about you guys. You have all these big names. But when we actually work together, we're seeing the struggles of communication, getting
Mm-hmm.
things done and moving forward. What does that aspect look like for you guys?
Yeah, I think when we look at founding teams, the founding story and the investment story and journey is not always up and to the right, even though it'd be nice if it was. So it's really just like, are these people that we get along with? Can we work well together? Can you work well together when times are good, but then also under pressure? And having mutual respect for both parties is really important. That's what we'd probably look for.
Right. It's that authentic side of
Yeah, you're investing in human beings. Yes. Human beings run businesses at the end of the day. So that's always really important to think about.
Would you say that a lot of time you are looking at too many portfolios, and then what would you say is the best success story coming your way? Just like, wow, this is something really caught my eye, and then this is why I'm willing to have a conversation, and we actually work together and see the progress.
Yeah, when we think about our portfolio, we try to take a really concentrated approach. So really trying to keep it to like 1 to 2 deals per partner per year. And I think for our fund size, that's pretty tight. And that just gives us a lot more time and energy to make sure we're attending the board meetings, we're staying in contact with the founders, we have a constant flow of communication. A partner can call them up, one day and get a question answered. And if the founder needs something, like we know who to go to and make sure that happens really quickly. So I think that's super important, just like having the mental and like time to pay attention to all your portfolio companies. In terms of what gets me excited about a company, there's a lot of different things. I think exciting market, exciting product, exciting founder, that's an amazing combination. And if you just think about the opportunity for compounding growth over time, that's super exciting.
If people come to you to say, oh, there's too many barriers, right, into getting through the gatekeeper, whether it's the investment side or just growing company side, what would you tell them? How to change that mentality?
Yeah, I think some just like advice that probably applies to a lot of different aspects of your life is mentorship and finding a mentor that's strong and also can be brutally honest when you need it. Like having mentors in the right places, talking to founders who've done it before can be very helpful. Kind of learn the lay of the land before you go through what they did and just learning from them. But I think generally people are pretty supportive. So I'm sure we can find good people to support us through it.
Yeah, I think so. It's all about you are so clear about who you are, and then you are attracting and speaking the right way. And then, of course, we will be able to bring on the right people in our own ecosystem that supports us. And it's okay to say no to those people who are constantly naysayers and don't see eye to eye to you, and don't have to feel bad about that also. And especially I feel like women, we're so wanted to, no, we can try, right? Like we can really convince or bring people to our level. And sometimes it's okay to not be in that state and only work with the companies, the advisors, and whoever else truly see your vision, your talent, and be able to work well with you.
Definitely.
Now, if I give you a magic wand and grant you 3 wishes, what would you be using it for, either personal or professional?
In any aspect or just in investing?
You can use them for investing.
Wow. Okay. I feel like one should be world peace. I would love for everyone who has a great idea to be able to access the resources to pursue that idea. And I think there's many different ways that comes, whether it's luxury of time or luxury of mentorship or luxury of kind of getting your foot in the door. I think that would be super cool. I think that applies to a lot of different communities and people. And the third, I guess, would be to have more wishes. I don't know. The third one is hard.
I mean, like world peace, that's something.
That's like a good one. Stabilize everything.
Yeah.
And then make sure people can access things. Yeah.
And then access things is that I feel like there are a lot of groups, a lot of mentors out there. Like the matter is, what does that even mean, right? Like, do you know how to ask the right questions, or do you need a mentor to actually figure out what you don't even see? Mm-hmm. And so be able to actually have that mentality, and then be able to have that growth mindset, and then not feel bad about, oh, we did all this, we have all the resources, but things are just not working, or just start seeing, right? Just be open if you're actually seeking advice and you're also taking actions toward that advice.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you for spending time with us. If people would like to check out you guys' firm more, where should they go?
Our website, volitioncapital.com, or on LinkedIn. We're pretty accessible that way.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us. And my last question would be, how do you like about the event so far?
I love it. It's awesome. It's also really cool to walk into a conference where there's so many awesome women and they're founding all these amazing companies. It's a really cool, vibrant environment.
Yeah, we definitely have, I would say, more than 90% of women attending this event. So this is very exciting to be in a women supporting women environment, and all of us are in different places with expertise to get the mentorship for people who want. So encourage anybody who hasn't checked out the FunTech Innovation event to come next year, or even check out other events in the series.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you for tuning in to Provider's Edge podcast. We hope you enjoy our latest episode and found the insights and tips helpful. We'd love to hear your feedback on the show and learn what topics you'd like us to cover in the future. So please take a moment to leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform and let us know what you think. Your feedback is essential to help us improve the show and provide you with the content you need to take your healthcare business to the next level. Thank you for your support, and we look forward to hearing from you soon.